If you've been dreaming about a place where life feels a little more intentional, discover the Canopy in Sebastopol by City Ventures. This new community offers solar-powered homes, surrounded by mature trees, nature preserves, and walking trails, with a vibrant local downtown, renowned wineries, and the Bay Area all within easy reach. Enjoy low-maintenance living, refined design, and built-in eco-friendly features that make everyday life easier. Start your next chapter at the Canopy by City Ventures. Visit cityventures.com. That's cityventures.com.
Well, hello there, and welcome back. My name is Stephanie Safarian, and you're listening to episode 595 of Sustainable Minimalists. This is a listener-supported show about intentional and eco-friendly minimalist living. And on today's show, we're talking about the why and the how behind giving up single-use plastics, or at least trying to, for the entire month of July. Plastic-Free July is nearly here. It's a month-long challenge to cut out plastic from your life. It started back in 2011 with just one woman and one small local government in Western Australia. Now today, the movement has exploded. Over 174 million people across 190 countries participate every single year. That's roughly 16% of global consumers, by the way. And the goal of the month is not to see how miserable you can make your life. The goal is to send a clear message to corporations to slow down their production of single-use plastics. It's also about reshaping our relationship with stuff. Now, I know the idea of going plastic-free can feel super overwhelming. Plastic's everywhere. How on earth could we completely eliminate it for 30 days? And let's be honest, too. The challenge can seem like little more than a performative opportunity to feel good about ourselves and post about it on social media. But let's let the numbers speak for themselves. Overall, every individual participant reduces their household waste throughout the month of July by about 28 pounds. So 28 pounds less trash going to the curb from your household. That's amazing. And collectively, that keeps about 320,000 U.S. tons of plastic out of landfills in a single month. And the best part of all is it sticks. A whopping 86% of participants maintain their new habits into August, September, and beyond. Now, you don't have to navigate this all alone. My guest today, she's running a free challenge within the free challenge. So if you're diving into Plastic-Free July, or even just maybe flirting with the idea, and you want a smaller, tight-knit community with check-ins and social support, my guest, Emily Emond, is here today to help. She's on the show today first to give us some motivation, but also to give us some tried and true tips so that we are set up for success this month. Emily, I'm so thrilled to talk to you and talk about something I hate, plastic. How are you?
I'm good. Plastic is not great. Don't like it either.
Well, we're going to talk about that and what we can do about plastic and all its problems in a minute. But first, I want to know about you. Who are you? What do you do? And why on earth are you running a Plastic-Free July challenge?
I'm Emily. I kind of just had a personality switch. That's the best way I have to describe it. We did a project in high school, and then I just did some kind of switch in my brain where I went, what are we doing to the environment that I have to help make up things to make clean water, which is what we were doing for a physics class. So I did a whole bunch of research because I was like, what can I do? Because my brain at the time was like, you're always taught like you need a degree, you need to be like an adult before anyone will take you seriously. So I just wanted to see what I could do as a teenager. I live with my parents and they don't really care enough to do a bunch of changes. So I was like, what could I do? So that kind of brought me to the zero waste lifestyle of slowly switching your life to be more eco-friendly, more considerate to the environment. And I did a lot of what probably wouldn't be done most people if they're living by themselves, because I had my parents, so I couldn't change everything. I couldn't add composting in. I couldn't change how we bought groceries. So I did a lot more mindset and what I did outside of the house, which I think helps a lot to give me a perspective on how you can reduce your plastic without buying a bunch of swaps, because I didn't have money to buy swaps and all that. So a lot of what I did do was habits that helped me reduce that waste, reduce the plastic, get rid of a bunch of things that were not eco for the environment. And then this past year, I was like, oh, Plastic Free July is coming up. And I never do Plastic Free July because I look at the checkerboards. My brain really likes to do day of. So if it's on the 1st of July, I have to do it the 1st of July. So my brain says, okay, I don't have time to do that. One, if it's like a really busy day, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get this thing done. A lot of them are swaps that you have to buy. So it's like you have to prepare ahead of time to get it. Or a lot of it's just very vague wording that I'm like, if I was a beginner, even like now, I wouldn't really know what to do. One of them says, reduce plastic for pets. What does that mean? And what if you don't have a pet? Then you just do nothing for that day? So it's like it's not a lot of explanation or actually information for people. It's just throw them into the water and hope that they can swim. So I was like, let's create something a little more in depth that isn't as overwhelming to do a swap every day, but we still get swaps done throughout the month. And you can actually do all of these things without having to spend tons of money or having to wait for a swap to come. And then July is halfway over and you've done one thing.
Okay, I love it. I'm always on board when there's some camaraderie built in, especially when the challenge is trying to address such a big and pervasive problem, plastic.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really,
everywhere.
it's everywhere, and it's really darn hard, if not impossible, let's be honest,
Right.
to avoid. The plastics industry and the fossil fuels industry made plastic so ubiquitous so
Yeah.
that avoiding it is, again, nearly impossible. So despite that, despite the fact that plastic's everywhere, why do you still find value in encouraging others to take part in Plastic Free July? I mean, unless somebody is perfect, right? They're still going to have some plastic in their lives throughout the month of July. So why is it important anyway for people to still try, to still partake in Plastic Free July?
Well, I see Plastic Free July as more of a stepping stone. So it's okay. This is a big thing everyone knows about. It's something people know. It's a little more adventurous that you do stuff with than Earth Day. If there's kind of just the one thing, people go pick up litter or something. It's a very low level holiday type thing versus Plastic Free July. So I see it as more of a stepping stone of, okay, we can get started in reducing your waste, reducing your plastic, just caring a little bit more for the environment. And then once you've started to see how easy some of these things are, how much money you don't have to spend, because those are a lot of myths that people have about being eco-friendly and caring for the environment. It's going to cost lots of money. It's going to cost lots of time. It's going to cost lots of effort. And after doing this for a month, that's about the time to create some habits. So by the end of the month, you'll have at least a couple habits that you've had created from this challenge that you can see, oh, wow, once I created it into a habit, once I started doing it consistently, it actually became easy. And now it's just part of my life. And so now I can go do more things to care for the environment. I also think that to grow as a society, we kind of have to start caring more for the environment. So it's like a stepping stone for both. And if a lot of people start being more eco and caring for the environment, reducing what plastic they can reduce, not being perfect, but doing what they can, that consciousness will grow to then include more of the society. Because I do believe that a lot of those corporations, they contain people. And if the people's mindsets are changing inside the corporations, then they can do stuff to help change what the corporations are doing as well.
I totally agree that Plastic Free July as a singular month out of the year, if you participate, it's a great stepping stone, right? It brings to light, first of all, the prevalence of plastic. It is truly everywhere and in gosh darn nearly everything, including us at this
Yeah.
point. But it also, for a lot of people, gets them thinking about this material that has just historically been around for decades. They don't think much about it. And I think that's important, yes, as a stepping stone, but also anything we do to reduce our usage of plastic is good for our health. We don't have
Right.
to
Yeah.
go 0 to 100, or I say 0 to Oprah. We don't have to be 100% perfect. But every little bit of plastic that you can do without, or not bring home, or not store your food in, or not store your beverages in,
Yeah.
is helping your health and helping your family's health. Just a little reminder to my listeners, they're plastic experts because I talk about plastic all the time, but the plastic itself is dangerous. dangerous. It breaks down into microplastics. We breathe it in, we ingest it with our food and drinks. Microplastics are in brains, lungs, placentas, you name it. They are inside us. And what they're doing, science hasn't caught up yet. But I think anybody with a brain can think that microplastics in my brain might not be might not be the best thing for me personally. Okay, so there's the microplastics problem, but then there's also the chemicals that are on and in plastics. So I'm talking, there's a lot, there's countless. But let's just talk about phthalates and bisphenols for a minute. These chemicals are known endocrine disruptors. They mess with your hormones and mess with your kids' hormones. So every time we can say no to plastic and swap it with something else that's not plastic, that is a powerful habit for your health. That's great. But what do you say to people who are listening and think to themselves, again, plastic is just so pervasive. One little piece of plastic here, one little piece of plastic there, maybe 30 pieces of plastic over the month of July. Like, it's not going to make much of a dent in the plastic pollution crisis. So I'm not even going to bother. You mentioned plastic-free July takes extra time, extra money, extra effort. What do you say to the people who say, I'm not even going to bother?
Nothing happens if everyone does nothing. If everyone else is thinking the same thing, they're also thinking, what if I don't do something? It's just one piece. It's just 30 pieces. But if it's 30 pieces times a million people, that's 30 million pieces for 1 month. And if you continue to do those habits that you get introduced to, that's 30 pieces every month, every year. So again, it's very much like a stepping stone, and not thinking that you're alone in this, because a lot of us think just ourselves. We're like, my 30 pieces isn't enough, but there's millions of other people that are also doing it. So it's a connected effort to make it work, not just a you effort. So it's very much getting out of the ego mindset and going, okay, this is a community thing. I'm going to put in my part and do what I can to reduce the plastic and the waste being created and the chemicals being put into our soil and animals and all of that stuff. And then everyone else does that too, and we can create something bigger that actually makes an impact.
Awareness is the first step, right?
Yes.
And I think, I don't know, I've never interviewed the creators behind Plastic Free July, but it seems to me that the biggest benefit to the month-long challenge is not a drastic reduction in plastic use at the end of the month.
Yeah.
The biggest benefit is getting people to look at plastic in a new way, perhaps even give it the side eye. That's the benefit of making people aware of plastic's harms.
Yeah, because it's a month, and if you try to get rid of a whole bunch of plastic at once, you're not going to continue to do that. It's not going to be sustainable, and you're just going to go back to your normal habits. So it's like a lot of it's just, oh, listen how this can benefit you to not have this plastic. Look at how this could probably make your life easier. A lot of what I like about like my zero waste dental routine is it makes traveling on planes really easy, because I don't have to worry about putting my mouthwash in a smaller container and making sure my toothpaste tube is the right size. I don't have to worry about all of that. So I feel like some of this is like, how does this benefit you? How does this benefit the environment? Like, how is this affecting the environment? And being aware of, oh yeah, these are actual problems that a lot of people don't know about, because they didn't get the education about any of this. No one really does. It's not like something you put into the curriculum for children. So it's like knowing that's a problem, and then also seeing how it can benefit you and your life and your circumstances.
If you've been dreaming about a place where life feels a little more intentional, discover the Canopy in Sebastopol by City Ventures. This new community offers solar-powered homes, surrounded by mature trees, nature preserves, and walking trails, with a vibrant local downtown, renowned wineries, and the Bay Area all within easy reach. Enjoy low-maintenance living, refined design, and built-in eco-friendly features that make everyday life easier. Start your next chapter at the Canopy by City Ventures. Visit cityventures.com. That's cityventures.com.
So for people who are ready to either formally take the challenge with you, or through plasticfreejuly.org, or through just in their own life without the camaraderie, just themselves, they're going to start looking at plastic differently, start treating it differently, start taking home less. What can they do right now at the end of June to set them up for success?
I have so many. So a big thing is you create a lot of the plastic when you leave your house. Like when you go out to eat or go out to get coffee, choosing restaurants that have real dishes. So finding your local cafes, seeing if usually they put their mugs and their coffee in mugs or glass jars. They'll have actual dishes to put your food on. There may be some little minuscule waste created, but it dramatically reduces the amount than if you went to a fast food restaurant and got your taco wrapped in plastic, put into a plastic bag with plastic utensils. It really reduces the amount that actually gets created that way. And this doesn't have to be super fancy. Lots of times when people hear real dishes, they're like super, super fancy sit down restaurants, but this could be local cafes. It could be places like Perkins. They do a lot of actual real dishes with just a couple side things that create waste that you don't necessarily have to partake in. So that's usually a big one. And then when you go out to eat, bringing a reusable container from home that you can use as a takeout container to avoid that styrofoam or hard plastic that you use when you get your meals is a great way to reduce some of that plastic without too much extra effort. Like it's grabbing a random container from your cupboard and putting it in your purse or your bag that you bring with you. So those are two really great ways to make sure that while you're out and about, you are reducing some of that plastic and keeping it out.
Okay, but what about the question I always get? And I totally agree with you. Leaving the house is a plastic minefield if you're not prepared, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't bring extra hydration or snacks from home
Oh, yeah.
or I don't know, you name it, you're going to buy it out and it's going to be in plastic 99 times out of 100. But I also hear that it goes the other way too. So you're bringing stuff home. You're out shopping and whatever you buy is wrapped in plastic. It's usually food at the grocery store, or maybe it's even online ordering. You're bringing something into your house. It's wrapped in plastic. Any suggestions there?
Some of this can also become mindset thing of, oh, when you go out shopping, maybe make sure you actually need the item. Use what you have at home, borrow things from friends and family if you need to. But especially with grocery shopping, there's definitely a lot of ways that we can reduce what is coming inside from that by just changing kind of the packaging you're getting. Because obviously we all need food. It's important. Can't really help the environment if we can't function. So I'm a big proponent of if you need to buy food in plastic, do it because you need food so that you can help in other ways. But there are definitely a bunch of other ways that you can reduce that plastic without having to get rid of some of that food. One of the bigger ones is choosing plastic-free packaging. Instead of a plastic peanut butter jar, you choose a peanut butter in a glass jar so that you're at least reducing the plastic from your life and that glass can then be recycled and glass is infinitely recycled. Another example of this would be like the plastic fruit cups that you get in the package of 6. Instead of getting that, you can get the can of fruit and get a couple of those instead. It's about the same thing in preservatives wise anyways. It's just putting it into your own container if you want a smaller portion. Another one would be like choosing bigger or bulk options compared to individually packaged items because obviously all the individual packages piece of plastic every time you use it, and it's only a single-use thing. So choosing, like you get individual yogurt containers, choose a bigger yogurt container. We get the Greek God, the big container instead of all of the little mini Greek God ones. And then you just spoon it into a container to take with you or spoon it into your bowl. And that also allows you to choose your own portioning. So you're not throwing away extra food if you can't end up eating a whole individual package like me. And then another one is, this is what I think about because that's the only packets I can think of, but the Kool-Aid or the lemonade individual packets. Instead of getting one of those, you get a tub of lemonade powder or a lemonade already made in a glass pitcher kind of thing, or juice or Kool-Aid already made. Those kind of things. They may still have some plastic, but it's better than the little wax plastic because some plastic's recyclable. So it's a little push and pull there as well. Obviously, you're going to create some plastic, but if we can get plastic that's recyclable at least, we can get rid of the ones that are actually going into the landfill and releasing a lot of those chemicals and getting them there. Obviously, though, if you can find things that are in glass or metal, that's preferable. But there's so much plastic, sometimes it's really hard to find that. So even just getting better options than just the really bad plastic.
And what do you suggest to people who on July 1st have motivation through the roof? They are ready to just slay plastic for the
Right.
month of July. But then on July 4 or 5, when they realize how hard this challenge actually is, they start to feel deflated. What words of motivation do you have for them?
Again, this is a lot of realizing that this is impacting more than just you, and it is more than just you. There is a whole community out there, and I'm sure that if you went to plasticfreejuly.org, they probably have community area sections or places. Facebook probably has groups that you can go into to get some of that community and realizing, oh yeah, your impact is not the only impact happening at the moment, that this is more than just you, this is for the environment. And that's a lot of how I think. It's just, oh, this is somewhat inconvenient to me at the moment, but the environment is more important because I will not be alive if the environment is not working with us. If it, we will not survive if we do not continue helping the environment. So that's a big one. And that's also part of the reason I created my Plastic Free July challenge, so that you had all of that community together in one spot. You can have some of that accountability and having those wins as well of, oh, everyone's showing off their little, oh, I did this today, can really be a motivation booster of, wow, they were able to do that. I can totally do that. Or you can ask more questions of, hey, how did you do this with your life? How does that work? How did you get to that point, to help you gain that motivation and ability to continue going through some of the hard parts?
I'm glad you mentioned that about talking to others, either challenge members or not challenge members. If the main goal of this challenge is to raise awareness, then all of us who are participating need to be talking about it with people who are perhaps not participating. If, let's
Yeah.
say, you have a coffee date and with your friend, and you go out of your way to choose a coffee shop with real mugs as opposed to the coffee shops that just give everybody a styrofoam or a plastic lined cup,
Right.
regardless. If you're going for coffee with a friend, let's say, and you choose a coffee shop with real mugs, take it one extra step and talk to your friend about why you did that and what you're trying to accomplish this month. Or if you are, I don't know, I'm just coming up with examples off the top of my head, but if your mom wants to go out for lobster rolls and or do lobster roll takeout for dinner one night, because here in New England it's the summer and it's lobster roll season, and you say, hey, no, actually, I can't do that because lobster rolls usually come in a styrofoam container, and styrofoam is a plastic product, and styrofoam is almost never recycled. Have a conversation with other people. They might think you're weird. They might be mad at you because you're not going to get the lobster roll, but you have started to get the gears turning in other people's minds. So it's
Yeah.
not just about your plastic and your personal awareness. You're already enlightened. You're doing this challenge. Now start
Yeah.
telling other people. Where do you hope challenge participants go? And what do you hope they do on August 1st?
So I hope they take what they have learned from the challenge and continue to do it. Because again, a lot of it's really simple habits, simple switches. You don't have to spend tons of money. And once you get them going, they're really easy to remember and keep doing. But I hope they just start doing some more for the environment. They've hit that switch like I did, where suddenly their ability to be like, oh, throwing stuff away, they instead think, oh, what can I do with this instead? How could I reduce this? How could I just having more of some more thought forms and actual questions instead of just going with what society has always said is normal. Going, okay, this is definitely not what I have learned. It's definitely not something that should be normal. Obviously, this is doing really bad things for the environment. So how can I change that? What can I do differently? And just get them on a path to actually doing more instead of just thinking, I want to help the environment, but I don't know how. And I'm stuck in this learning analysis part. We're trying to get them into some kind of action so they continue to do action of some sort.
I love that. That's the best answer of the day. Yeah, I don't know what the phrase is or the saying. I'm going to butcher it really bad, but it's along the lines of nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, get uncomfortable for 31 days, right? Try something new. Put yourself in a new arena, a plastic free or a low plastic arena, and see where that takes you. It's a journey. Plastic Free July is just one step. Listeners, I started my sustainable minimalism journey by doing a 30-day decluttering challenge, not a Plastic Free July challenge, but a 30-day decluttering challenge. And now look at me. You can't get rid of me. I'm here in your ears every week, but nothing changes if nothing changes. So change something. Change
Right.
something
And
for 30 days.
And my Plastic Free July challenge is a great way to get started in that because you have people there to force you to continue going. Because I know it's really hard to make yourself stay uncomfortable for 30 days. You'll do something uncomfortable for a day and then you'll be like, nope, I'm not doing that again. So having a challenge, having people there that constantly are actually doing stuff to encourage you to keep going. Oh, they're still doing it. I can do it. I have this thing that's keeping me focused instead of just a motivation. Because eventually the motivation goes away. Eventually you get tired. Eventually you're like, I'm really busy. I don't have time for this today. So having that actual physical place to go back to and have accountability and wins and places to talk to people about how they're doing stuff will help you to actually stay motivated or stay in the uncomfortableness at least, so you continue going and actually see it through for 30 days instead of saying you'll do it and then going away after a week because your brain hurts.
And I'll also say, too, for listeners who are interested but just feel so overwhelmed with life, they don't feel like they could give up plastic for 30 days. Remember the ultimate goal. The goal is awareness, raising awareness of this big environmental threat and its health threats as well. It's an
Right.
environmental and human health threat. And so if you can't eliminate all plastic or you're just daunted by the thought, you can just pledge to get rid of one plastic item for the month. You can get
Right.
rid of single-use cups or plastic food wrap or plastic bags. You can just choose one plastic item that you're very reliant on and start there. So I just say that to say, don't let the rules scare you off. There are
Right.
no rules at the
And
end of the day.
this comes a lot into mind. I keep thinking about 10 or so years ago when it was, oh, we want to put all of our waste into a little jar. That's not what we're trying to do because that's not super sustainable. And if you wanted to get rid of all the plastic, you would not have a house anymore. So this is not get rid of all the plastic, it's get rid of some plastic to get started. So that's why some of that overwhelm is just like you're thinking of all of the different possibilities and of the future and what would be really great for the future to get rid of all the plastic. But that's not doable at this point in time. So a lot of it is also just doing what you can and what you have learned when you can.
Emily, tell my listeners who are interested where they can find you, your challenge, where they can sign up, where they can get that camaraderie and that support. Give us the details.
Yes. Okay. So I'm on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. TikTok is Zero Waste Unicorn and Instagram is Unicorn Affiliate Zero Waste. Both of those have links in my bio, and my Plastic Free July is one of the first links on there, which will give you access to the Telegram where we'll have the accountability chat, and you'll also have a weekly Q&A chat with me once a week so we can work on your circumstances because I found a lot of things are very generalized and I wanted to make it a little more specific because I know some people don't have access to as many things and can't do it as well. There's also going to be 2 group calls. There'll be a group call at the beginning and a group call at the end, which will be all linked into the email. So once you sign up for the wait list, you'll get all of that information.
Nice. I love it. Send me the link and I'll put it straight
Okay.
into the show notes so people don't have to search.
Yeah.
Emily, I want to thank you so much for putting this challenge out into the world.
Yes.
So happy you mentioned when we started talking that your personality changed. I think
Yes.
that's so interesting. Here's to more personality changes in the coming
Yes.
month. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listeners, that's a wrap. My friend's show notes at mamaminimalist.com/595. Now, quick reminder, this show is supported by you, the listeners. You are quite literally keeping the lights on for this podcast. So if you have $5 a month, it's burning a hole in your pocket and you want to support this message, support this show, help it grow, you can subscribe via Apple Podcasts or Substack, and thank you so much. Next week, we will be back and we will be talking about what just 17 minutes a day outside can do for your health. That's next week, 17 minutes outside per day. It's magical. I'll see you then. Reach out if you need me. Thanks for being here. Happy Plastic Free July, and take care.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.